Hello and welcome back to Solent Blue, part of National Busways South Coast at the WR garage in Gosport, where the money has very visibly gone brr, because I did a one map expansion north and we have all of this now. That's Southampton, that's Swanwick, this is obviously Gosport, that's Portsmouth. Pretty much got everywhere I want to operate, if not fully. And, well, that brings us on to where we're expanding today. If you don't know, I pointed out when we first unlocked Gosport that there was this railway line looking thing going down through Gosport that very clearly isn't a current railway line because Gosport doesn't have a rail connection anymore. But if you look here, the thin line that would suggest a walking path has this thing slipping onto it, and that is a busway. It's not a guided busway, it's just a bus-only road, or a busway, 'cause that's sort of all a busway is. Yeah, so in the real world, that's branded as the Eclipse, and yes, there were some Bright Eclipse Urbans that operated on it for some time, although these days it's run with streetlights, which is not fun, but there are also new GB kites, which are significantly less unfun. But in this ADL simping National Busways, I thought, let's just break the timeline for a little bit. We've done quite well. We've stuck to 2016-2017 as the current sort of point where we are in the series. Let's break the timeline a bit, go back a few years, before Morse, although I'll bring us up to speed in the coming episodes with regards to these services, and start a new service down the Eclipse. Well, a set of services. I've got 6 routes planned to use the Eclipse busway. So, let's grab our hex code, and we will start with the flagship Eclipse service. Well, not quite. The 210. Gosport, Fareham. Yeah, Gosport to Fareham. So time-lapse me, if you don't mind. Thank you very much. And there is the 210. I didn't realise just how few stops the busway had on it. It's quite sparse. I've added this stop southbound at Bridge Mary, and I'm going to add that northbound as well, because I think that's useful. So it's before the stop called Witch Lane Arch. Da 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 da. There we are. And I'm just calling it Bridge Mary Eclipse, although the other stops are called BRT, so... I mean, I think the Eclipse name is a first thing. I think it's just called the BRT there. BRT, if you don't know, stands for Bus Rapid Transit. So it's BRT's a bit of a cop-out, I won't lie. But it kind of works if you've got a place like Gosport that isn't really that big. Anywho, if I fix the bus stop coverage there, yeah, we're only missing that bit, and there's no sort of indication of any access paths, so I don't actually think there is a stop along here at all. Just one of those things. But that's the 210. It takes less than an hour end to end. That's impressive. Or less than an hour return, actually. I'm actually quite impressed at that. That's, wow, that's fast. So we're going to run this every 12 minutes, but if I put every 15, then we'll get a sort of idea. Actually, if I put it every 10, it's going to be very busy. Just leave it there, it's going to be busy. And it's going to run from 4:45. Actually, no, 4:46. No, 4:48. It's only one bus. Yeah, 4:48. Why not? Until 23:24. And that timetable is going to run Monday to Saturday. And you know the drill by now. I'm going to cut to black, and yeah, you're going to be brought back like in a moment while I work on the timetable. And the route is done. So it runs every 12 minutes throughout the day from just before 5 until just before 11:30. During the week anyway. And it runs to Fareham station where it has a few minutes to wait. And then, so that gets back at 6:04. Ready to do this 6:12, and so that means we have a PVR of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So let's say this route needs 10. So during the week until Saturday it's all the same, except on Sundays, where it runs every 15 minutes. That should be... Something's gone weird. Anyway, on Sundays, it only runs as far as Fareham bus station. It doesn't go the rest of the way to Fareham station. That's the idea. And it runs every 15 minutes instead of every 12. So it's a slight reduction in everything, basically. Slight reduction in frequency, a reduction in the route itself to yield a bigger reduction in vehicle requirement. And let's check actually, on Sundays we should need 5 o'clock, 5:30, gets back at 5:57, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we'll need maybe 6. That takes a good chunk of the vehicle requirement off. And that's going to be from WR. And we'll activate that later. I'll make a note that we need 10 buses for this route. And then that I haven't bought the vehicles yet. Cool. Now, we're going to do a sort of counterpart to the 210 that is sort of the exact opposite, where the 210 is the big one that goes all the way along the busway-ish. The busway actually ends here. Where the 210 is the big one that goes all the way into Fareham. I'm now going to pair it up with the shortest of the busway routes, the 211. Da-da-da-boop. 211. Gosport to Carisbrook Shops. So, I will see you on the other side of the time lapse. And there is the 211. It's quite a convoluted route once you get off the busway. Obviously, the bit to the busway and on the busway is the same as the 210. Then you pull off, you come down this way, up and around, and then, you know, come back. And that was because I wanted to turn it back here, but I didn't really know how to. And then I saw that there was this here, and I was like, oh, I can do like a little circular type thing. So that's what I've done. This one is... it's definitely still going to be the shortest of the busway routes. But it's longer than it was going to be. So, that's something. And the timetable for the 211 is done. So, it's a significantly simpler timetable than the one for the... Oh, hang on. It's a significantly simpler timetable than the one for the 210 because the Sunday service doesn't have a different sort of route. So, it runs from Gosport, gets to the shops on Nobes Avenue, waits for 3 minutes, comes back in, has 2 minutes at Gosport bus station, which actually I might not flip, but change the standing time arrangement entirely. So this will start at 5:28 and end then, and then it should be able to have 3 or 4 minutes of break at Gosport. Let's have a look. 1 minute and then 4 minutes. Yeah, cool. That's better. I like that. There we go. Adjusting the timetable on the fly. I suppose I'll do the same thing on Sunday, which is the same route, less frequently. And the last bus is a northbound, not a southbound, because Nobes Avenue shops isn't that far from the garage, in theory. So you can sort of have a last bus sort of away from Gosport in that sort of thing. Oh yeah, I meant to check the timings. 5:30, 3 minutes, then 2 minutes. Nope, that's not what I wanted. And then I should be able to make that 4 minutes. Let's have a look. 1 minute, and then 4 minutes. Nice. Well, actually I need to make that 3. There we go. Quite an intense service. So if I go to timetable preview on them for a weekday, 5 o'clock gets back to do the 6 o'clock, which means we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll call that 6. So I'm going to go to my spreadsheet and make a note that we need 6, and I've not bought them yet. That is all the new routes we're going to do today, because we need to buy a fair few vehicles. But that's the Eclipse system started. We got the 210 to Fareham and the 211 to Nobes Avenue. And actually I'm going to rename this stop to Nobes Avenue, and then just \n shops. Did I spell shops right? I can't see my keyboard. I'm normally a good touch typist, but I get anxious sometimes. There we go. That's the route. I need to change that in my spreadsheet because I changed that on the fly. So let's go to R. Isn't this place lovely? Bus fleet. We're gonna buy a bus that's not featured on this channel yet. The Enviro350H. Manage vehicle groups. New vehicle group. Have a look. We got up to 003. So this is going to be 004 as a sort of general vehicle group type. Hybrid solos. Or hybrid single deck. There we go. And there's really only one vehicle type that goes in this. And it's the 350H. So these are going to be hybrid single deck. Did I not? Oh no, there it is. Hang on. Manage vehicle groups. Did I use a lowercase o instead of a 0? Yes, I did. 004 hybrid single deck. So we need 16, I think. Yes, we need 16. So here's the Enviro350H. It's a nice looking bus, actually. I gutted that I never got to go on one when first had some around Chelmsford and then Basildon. They got rid of them. There might be some left with Stagecoach, but those are up in Scotland and I don't know if they're even still around. These did not last long. These really didn't last long at all. And it's a shame because they look like really cool buses. Like fully low floor, which is interesting for an Enviro. Because the Enviros are built like a classic Dart SLF, so they've got the higher back bit. Anywho, obviously, it's me, I've done a repaint. And I've got 3. So the first one is this one, the old Landor scheme with the Solent Blue, National Busways service, and then on the battery pod thing, the hybrid system, just a little tagline, blue buses going green for Gosport. If you remember the old sort of, in the 2000s, there were a lot of attempts at making buses more eco-friendly, whether that was through ethanol or gas or hybrid, and they would all have a tagline like this. And growing up in London, I remember red buses going green all the time. Like, I would see it a lot, and I wasn't even consciously aware of buses at that time, at that age. And I do remember. And I remember seeing it on the Royal Mail vans as well. I think you can still see some around. Euro 5 and Euro 6 Royal Mail vans have a little, like, peel-away vinyl. Like, a vinyl looks like the red paint's been peeled away to reveal green underneath. It's a bit cheesy, but it's a fun little bit of nostalgia for those that remember the 2000s and the early 2010s. Anyway. Oh god, I exported the repaint template. I did not mean to do that. There's also the EXH... Oh yeah, these are going to be the EXH type. This is just the normal morphs. I decided to make the battery box the ultramarine from the back end. I think that looks quite eye-catching. Oh dear, that's not gone well. And then if I bring this one up, it's sort of like a hybrid of the two. We've got the green branding, but it's more. And the morse on the front. So I'm going to initially get all of these in the Landor scheme. And then we're going to sort of slowly, as the series progresses, change them into different liveries. So these are all going to start with the Landor with the going green battery box. So, here they are. The Enviro350H. There are so many. And then we have a lot of space at this garage. It's very nice. Where are the SONs? They're meant to go down there. I think they're all out at the minute. Which is fine. That's fine. There are so many of these. I've got the first 6 in the spreadsheet, or not first 6, the first 10 in the spreadsheet already. My laptop hates my face for some reason. They got it. They got it. Okay. Scroll down to the... There we are, the EXH class. So the first one has a custom plate, and that is going to be HY60. Well, they all start with HY60, I think. Yes, they do. HY60, and then this one's going to be BRD. It's hybrid. Like, you know, because it's a hybrid, and it's the first hybrid. And this is going to be EXH1. And these are going to say WR and green for Gosport. Ah, isn't that lovely? I don't know what's up with that bit. That should have a window there. Happens sometimes. But that's the first E350H that we have. So then, this one is going to be HY60 RDB. And EXH2 with green for Gosport. And WR, the garage code, displayed there. I will cut back when I've got all these done. And finally, HY60 RDR, better known as EXH16. Aren't they pretty? Certainly sticking out with their green battery boxes. I think they're quite attractive though. I do like... I have a soft spot for ADL's designs. I think they just look effortless. Like, the MMC is just so classy. The classic E300 styling on here is very nice. Something about ADL styling, it just works really, really well. You could say the same about Wright buses of that era, but sort of, I don't know, they feel a bit over-styled these days, or they used to. I think the new face is a massive improvement over the stealth bodywork. Don't come at me for that. I think the new stuff is better than stealth. Don't come at me. That's my opinion. Anyway, it is time to get the 210 ready to launch with hybrid single deck, and the 211 ready to launch with the hybrid single deck. Let's hit go. The 210 launches first. Tottenham noises. The 210 is launched. And the 211 is launched. There we go. So let's go to the shift scheduler. Let's actually go to WR first before we assign anything. And just hire a few more staff. I just want to make sure that we have enough, that we're not going to be overworking anyone. Right, and we'll assign these manually. Ooh, it's busy. The 210 and 211, hopefully they're going to be quite healthy earners for us. There we go. Tonight's allocations all done. Oh dear. It would be nice if they said which garage the driver was here. Like, the driver was from here so that we could just go and check. Ah well. What loans can we pay back? But it's the most painful one I can... That one. That was a no-brainer. Right. Oh, we got our weekly riders thing, which means we got a big money injection at some point. That's good. So, first one out is going to be you. Soon. So let's have a look, shall we? What is the 210 and... What does the 210's destination display look like first? When does it go? Oh, I missed it. There it is. It's going to Fareham first. And interestingly, it's taking... Okay. No, it was... And it's going that way. Oh yeah, because it starts at the station. So, 210. 210, how do you do? Come on. Oh, it goes to 2028. Right, we're on our way. We've got people on. We're in Fareham. Very nice. Into Fareham bus station. Very nice. 5 people on, coming out of Fareham. Which, given the map data is quite thin on the ground around here, is decent. There's a long wait at Fareham bus station. And coming down the dual carriageway towards the busway. There we go, on the busway now. Coming down, pretty busy. For the, well, it's about 9 PM. It's doing all right then. And there will be plenty of buses going up and down this busway once the entire network's in, because this is, well, it's 2 of the 6 routes that I've got planned. 7 if you count the 220, but the 220's something for the future. Well, it could be something for next episode. The map's all there for the 220. But yeah, that's not something for now. Coming into Fareham, or Fareham, Gosport, it's quite busy. It's very nice. I need to change that routing. That's not in fact bueno. So there's going to be, aha, leaving now, going back north. Let's have a look. Put it on 2 times speed. Okay, it's hovering around 14 people on the bus, which is a decent loading for gone 9 at night actually. And Gosport's a sort of nothing town as far as I'm aware. It's pretty sort of military town, it's not sort of a nightlife town. Going up the busway though, very nice. The busway is working as intended, that's quite quick. Carrying a healthy number of people into Fareham. And then waiting for 5 minutes to come back around. And carrying only 1 person to the station. There we go. Let's have a look at the 211. That one's about to go on the local roads bit. It's doing fairly well. Small number of people. It's late at night. That's pretty fine. So, yeah, just coming up onto Nobes Avenue shops now. And I would say that that is a little bit of a W. We've got hybrids. We've got the busway. You know, Gosport is getting a proper bus network now. We've got 4 routes in Gosport. 1, 2. If you count the Gosport Circular as 1 route, then we have 4. If you don't, we've got 5. That's sort of how I'm going. So, next on the list is probably going to be sort of more bus routes that use the full length of the busway. So if I have a look. Which one is it? So, oh no, actually, there's one that's not going to use the full length of the busway. It's going to turn off where the 210 turns off, but go the other way. It's going to go up here, up this road, serve Fareham College, and then go into Fareham Station. And that's going to be the busway route that serves Fareham Station 7 days a week. Then there's going to be the 213 to Heathfield I know it's here. Well, we could turn it back here, actually. Yeah. Actually, we'll turn it back there rather than going around Meadowbank. We'll turn it back just to the shops. And that's going to go via Cattersfield Road. So that's going to go along the full length of the busway, along here, up here, across and along. Then there's the 214, which will continue along, follow the 213, but then stay on the avenue, go up this road, and go around this area. And then the last one is going to be the 215, which, where have I said it goes? Okay, so yeah, it stays on the busway all the way up here, then goes along this road, which is called Gudge Heath Lane, which I think is just a fabulous name for a road. And then it will go around this area, which I believe is called Orchard Lee. So that's the idea for the busways. I think it's interesting, actually, how Swanwick has such a small amount of missed data, and yet Gosport, Portchester, Cosham is so empty. It's certainly interesting. And of course up here we've got Southampton. So, one final thing to check, and we need to do that at SV, the research panel. First, we can reduce bus wear and tear. And our coverage has gone up by 3.3 percentage points. Let's check the bus fleet. We have 15 broken buses. Okay. I think that's probably where the police thing came from. So let's just get all these repaired. Get new brake pads on you. Yeah, lights. Get wipers. You don't need oil. Right, ES12, hello. Get new brake pads on you. New wipers on you. Wipers indicators, get oil for you as well, because that's going to go soon. Lights. Lights. Brake pads and oil. EX4, brake pads and oil. Wipers, oil and brake pads. And EX6. Here we're just going to get brake pads and oil. There we go. Also, I realised that I didn't get Wi-Fi when I started speccing all of my buses out with Wi-Fi, so I've enabled the Wi-Fi contract. So hopefully, that's going to be a good little boost of our company's little reputation that we have. And yes, that's a jump. So, from our happy little bus network here on the Isle of Wight and the South Coast, I will see you later. Bye bye.